Yo, YouTube, what up? Yo, we at it, man. We down here by the port of Houston, and I just came up on this train going across the tracks. But if you look real good, on that red light to the left, the arm is sitting right on top of the hood of the International. So we almost read about this guy, or we almost hear about this guy on the news, man. 'Cause what happened is, by the time he stopped, he already crossed where the arm's supposed to come down. So when the arm came down, it came down right on the top of his hood. And by that time, he couldn't do anything else but just stay there. But good thing he wasn't close enough to the track. So when you're out here, man, you gotta be careful of these train tracks, man. Especially when you're hauling these containers, because a lot of them are heavy. And I'm talking about close to 100,000 pounds, truck and trailer with the load. So it take a lot to stop. You can't really stop sometimes when you really need to stop. So just be careful out there, man. But right now, one thing I want to touch on with these containers, man, what a lot of people don't know is that it's a lot of money in chassis rental. And when I mean chassis rental, I'm talking about the frame that the container sit on. The frame with the wheels on it, that's the chassis right there. It's a lot of money in chassis rental. Like these chassis rent for, the port rent them for $30 a day, just a regular tandem chassis. The triaxle chassis, the port rent that for $50 a day. Now, if you're an outside company, you could have your own chassis rental. Outside companies renting the chassis for $100 a day, just a regular tandem chassis. Like these chassis you see right here, you have 2 axles on it. Now if you have the triaxle chassis, those rent for $150 a day. During the busy season, the port don't have enough chassis for the amount of containers coming in and out. So a lot of companies go to outside source to rent the chassis. Now, the carriers that rent the chassis from outside source, it's a lot quicker and easier to go in and out the port with that chassis that you rent from an outside source. Because the port don't inspect that chassis, because it's not their chassis. When you rent the chassis from the port, when you go in the port, they inspect the chassis. And the stuff they look for is make sure the brakes are good, make sure all the lights work. And one of the most important light that they've been looking for is the ABS light. And the way you check, when you're hooking up to the chassis, the way you check see if the ABS light work is when you plug in the electrical cord. You're supposed to hear the sensors click, and you're supposed to see the ABS light flash. On the chassis, the ABS light located behind the tandem on the driver's side. You'll see it sitting on the frame. Either it's pointing up in the air or it's pointing forward towards you, the driver. So the port always check to make sure your ABS light work. Well, most ports do. And they check your tires. Make sure you don't have a flat tire, or you don't have a tire that's bald. Now, if you go on the port with a flat tire, they charge the carrier for that tire. If you catch that flat tire before you go on the port, you have a lot of tire shops close to the port. They'll just change the tube inside the tire, and that's a $30 fix. So if you're running the port chassis, you'd never want to go on the port with a flat tire on the port chassis. Now if you're running an outside carrier chassis, the port don't check it. So you don't have to go through inspection in the port. You go on the port, go to the interchange, go pick up your box, come back out, and you're on your way. Now, at the repair in the port, you could be in there for 15 minutes or you could be in there for hours. It all depends on how many trucks in line to get repaired. So if you're running an outside carrier chassis, you get in and out the port a whole lot faster if it's backed up than if you're running the port chassis. So it's a lot of money in chassis rental, man. If you're interested in if you're looking for another investment to get into, that's something you could look on. Check out to see how much those chassis sell for. You could buy some chassis and rent them out. A lot of companies out here will rent the chassis from you, as long as you're within a good distance to the port. That way they don't have to go far out the way to get to you. Yeah, so we are here, man.